Hey, we did some Cuban cigars on the smoker. Now, notice I didn't say we smoked some Cuban cigars. This is basically a Cubano sandwich, which is pickle, pork, maybe a little bit of mustard, and a bread item, all wrapped up together. We made these as an appetizer. I'm going to show you just how we did it.
Fajita sizzle, sweet aroma fills the air. Jeff's on the smoker with a masterful flair. From juicy brisket to that pulled pork delight. Steak on the grill, cooking it just right. He's got the low and slow, got that secret touch. You're gonna love this flavor oh so much. So let's get this party started, y'all. BBQ plus, yeah! BBQ plus, woo!
Hey, it's Jeff with BBQ Plus, and today we're gonna cook up something kind of unique for an appetizer. We're gonna do Cuban cigars. So one might ask, what are those? So a Cubano sandwich usually has pickle. It has some pork, so we have a pork loin. We've also got to go double down on the pork and make sure that we've got some bacon, because everything's better with bacon. We have got some spicy mustard, because you got to have mustard on your Cubano sandwich. And we've got some Crescent rolls. So we're going to combine all of this together, along with a fun little barbecue rub. I love this honey hog on anything pork. So we're gonna make this tasty little appetizer. So for step one, what we have to do is get into this pork loin. This is just something I bought at my local grocery store. It's not a very big one. What do we got here? A little over a pound. So yeah, pretty small. But what we're gonna do is, this is gonna be our special wrap. So pork is usually one of the main ingredients in a Cubano sandwich. So absolutely, we're going to start out with some pork. Going to get rid of some of this fat on here. So if we got a little bit of silver skin to it, we want to get that all off if possible. So we're going to slice this down, and we want to make sure that we're about the same size as what our pickles are. So we're going to grab one of those guys out. I love this brand. This is the Grillo's brand. Picked these up at Costco. They are fantastic. So what do we got here? All right. It's about right here. Another one. We're going to kind of split the difference there. And the first thing that we're going to do is try to cut this really thin. And then we're going to flatten it out as well. So there we go. There is step one. So we're going to take that pork, we're going to put it inside here so that we can flatten it out a little bit. And we're going to do that with a rolling pin. There we go, some nice thin pork. So we're going to measure out what it takes to wrap up one of those pickle spears. We should be able to do about 4 of those. So in a Cubano, we got to have some mustard. I've got a spicy mustard here. We're just going to squirt a little bit out, and then we're going to brush it on. I don't want this to be too overpowering, but I do want to give that mustard flavor. So we're just going to put that right on these flattened out pieces. So we're going to take these pickles and roll these pickles up in here. There we go. Now we're going to get into this pastry dough. Trying to kind of thin that out a little bit, just so we can get one revolution around there. Take the next one, wrap that around. So we got a couple of these left over. That's okay. They're just going to be bacon only on those. Bacon just goes nicely all the way around. And those are going to be put on a rack. I've got the Yoder 640 over here, and that's set up for 350 degrees. Should be all the way up to temperature by now. That 350 is going to allow us to render out the bacon. If we go too low on that, bacon's not going to render out. We also want to make sure that we're cooked all the way through, so we will be taking a look at the temperatures throughout this just to make sure that we're cooking all the way through, because we have that pork inside and we want to make sure that that gets to at least 145 or so. This is thin cut bacon. If you use the thick cut bacon, it's probably going to take you quite a bit longer to render all the way out. There we go. We've got them all nice and tidy there. I am going to sprinkle them with one of my favorites, which is this honey hog. I'm a little bit nervous about the amount of salt because the pickles have quite a bit of salt in. Then we've got bacon with salt on it. The pork, we didn't season it at all, so I think we're good there. We're just going to drop them in. Give them some time, check in. So I've got an instant read thermometer I'm also going to use to monitor this along the way as well. Let's see how we do. So what I'd say so far is the trick is thin. If you can get that pastry dough rolled out really thin, if you can get that pork tenderloin really thin, that's going to allow it to cook a lot faster. And I'm afraid that these are going to really plump up and they're going to be pretty good size. I was hoping they'd be a little bit smaller. I made an executive decision to forego the Swiss cheese that I was going to put inside of there just because that's just going to add more bulk also. So I would say if you can get everything really thin in there, wrapped up fairly tight, that's going to be better. I think the second time that I do this, it'll definitely turn out better than it did this time. But, you know, we're eager to see how this goes. There they are on. Some of that croissant roll is definitely plumping up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see how these turn out. So I had these guys on for about 350 degrees for probably about 40 minutes or so. We really weren't getting the render on the bacon, so turned it up to about 375 degrees up at that higher heat. I think by this time we've got that pork all the way cooked inside, and now we're just trying to render out that bacon. So one of the things that I did notice is that that breading, that croissant roll, I think seems to really be absorbing a lot of the grease and the render out of that bacon. So that really isn't cooking out like it would to get a flaky crust. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm gonna grab a couple of these because we're up to temperature. We're around about 365 degrees internal temperature, so that's fine. That pork's all the way cooked. That's what I was concerned with. So we're gonna take a couple of these out and let them cool down a little bit and give them a little taste. There is one of the thinner ones. I'm going to let the rest of these continue as we let this one cool off and then take a nice little taste of it. Yeah, I definitely can smell that pork and the bacon smell to it. The pickle comes through just in the smell, and I get a little bit of a faint hint of mustard as well. We didn't put very much on, but we did use a spicy mustard, and we could always spread that on the top as well. So that's a good little bite. That's got a little bit of everything in it. Cool down. Yeah, I think this is a good one. I'm tasting that crescent roll coming through here also after this is cooled down. Yep, I would definitely do this again. I would probably make everything a little bit thinner. So rolled up a little bit tighter. The Grillo's pickles I think are wonderful. I probably would have added a little bit more mustard, maybe even smeared a little bit on the top before I put that seasoning on. But this is really good. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe, like, share it with a friend. And the most important thing is go and cook something great in your backyard this weekend. From BBQ Plus, thanks for watching.
Fajita sizzle, sweet aroma fills the air. Jeff's on the smoker with a masterful flair. From juicy brisket to that pulled pork delight. Steak on the grill, cooking it just right. He's got the low and slow, got that secret touch. You're gonna love this flavor oh so much. So let's get this party started, y'all. BBQ Plus, yeah! BBQ Plus, woo!